We're chasing comedy, working on jokes, working on bits, seeing what sticks, seeing what stinks. We're chasing comedy, politics and current events, cultural shifts and psychological bents, the daily news, your grandpa's views, conspiracy theories, trending Google queries. Either way, it's all okay. We're chasing comedy. So listen up and we'll lay it all out, whether you're seeking wisdom or zoning out. Have your fill, it's all just for the mill, with Brian and Dustin, and we're chasing comedy. We're Brian and Dustin, and we're chasing comedy.
Hey, there he is.
Whoa, what's up?
He always looks so short.
Yeah, what's going on?
You look like a tiny little man.
I look like a tiny man.
Your camera doesn't do you justice. How tall and handsome you are.
It looks like I look like a fidget.
Yeah. You gotta get more Brian and less back.
Okay. Well, hold on. If I took this off, if I took this jacket,
that drives me crazy. But that's kind of you, so it's funny. It's very you. I mean, I'm chaos too, but I cover it up with these Pure One import backgrounds.
What's going on? What are we doing?
It all
came together today. It all came together. Look at this. We got the band back together.
Yeah, we are a band of misfits.
This is our new sponsor, Olipop Soda. It's all natural ingredients, flavored with stevia, no sugar, no high fructose corn syrup, loaded with nutrients, protein, and fiber. Okay,
I don't think I've hated a product more than that product you're holding in your hand.
Dustin Chafin, ladies and gentlemen, the opposite of yes and. Okay, no but. Okay, he's the no
there
but guy. Okay, yeah.
Now your audio came in. What happened?
Yep.
This is great.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't like that product. I don't like. I tried it. It did not do my stomach well. It didn't do it.
You got it. Oh, it didn't do your style. Okay. Well,
no, it just didn't do me well. And in fact, it's like, dude, I've gone down the road with the soda dilemma, and I feel like your best bet is to, probably just do like a Mexican Coke and just don't go crazy. Just do one
or a Mexican Coke dealer.
There you go. Been down that road.
Hello, I'm funny. Hello, I'm funny. It's for you. I'm funny. There you go. Whatever. All right. Sorry.
It's a tiny little cashew. That's your phone.
What is that?
It's a cashew. It's a cashew.
Oh yeah, that's a cashew.
It's
phone.
my cashew phone. I'm trying to get in on your funny.
Mm-hmm. All right, get in. Good luck with that. Right?
Hold on, I'm gonna hang up.
Yeah, please do that.
No, I don't like it. I like I still do Diet Coke Zero, so I know that's bad for you, but I just I don't. But now we'll start with this. Now I'm on a I'm on this Whole30 diet thing with my girlfriend.
Oh, I know. I heard about that. I hear that's phenomenal. Tony V is on that.
It's horrible, and I've decided that I would rather my girlfriend cheat on me than do another diet with my girlfriend. Like I just can't.
Okay. I can arrange that.
I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. It's just like you just then you gotta I need because I have a metabolism of just a skinny, like I don't gain weight. So it's really
me neither.
Yeah. It's so, but I'm trying to be supportive, and show her love by not eating bread, and just everything I enjoy.
That whenever you're in a relationship and the person wants you to go on whatever diet they're on, like gluten-free and everything else. And I want to do as much as I can, but no, I don't know. I can't.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I do it, and it's just like, and then I
wouldn't want someone to. If I was like, you know what I mean? Like I want you to eat what you like.
But you're not a woman. What are you, rational thinking? Come on, hey-o.
How do you know?
I've seen you naked. They have lockers at the comic strip. I've seen
that's right.
And the
did you see Punchline? Did you ever see Punchline?
That's the joke. Come on, you didn't have to say that. Tell me what that meant.
No, but that's funny. No, but that's actually really funny because that could change if there were actually lockers in comedy clubs with
Yeah.
this current zeitgeist where men and women in men's locker rooms and bathrooms, the entire comedy industry could have been altered. The history of comedy could have altered because men wouldn't be able to get, you know what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this?
We should stay back on the diet thing. I think that
Okay,
was
back to the
we
diet,
were better there than some obscure movie that nobody saw but comics. That Tom Hanks pretended to be a comedian and it was atrocious.
He was funny.
He was terrible.
Sally was
movie,
atrocious.
They were both bad. They were both bad. It was like him getting my dad's here. I'm going to cry. Stop.
Wow. Okay.
Really? Your dad
Right.
shows up. You're going to cry in a set? Come on, dude. There's no need for
obviously
that.
you haven't been to one of my recent shows, but anyway, right?
Well, if your dad showed up, it'd be pretty spectacular.
It would be, but I saw Hamlet. It can happen. Okay, didn't you ever see Hamlet? It can happen. Okay,
I mean, a few versions, but no, just that thing was like, I feel like my entire life has been about, your light went out, doing things that women want me to do with them, whether it be like diets, join a different religion, stop drinking, I feel like it's always something, I think that's pretty funny.
Okay.
I've changed like 4 religions over women and
That's
done
right.
all kinds of
and you
stuff.
can't, yeah. And she doesn't want you to drink Olipop soda either, I guess.
No, that's me. That's not her. I think that's just trash. It just tastes. I would rather drink Windex than that thing. I don't know why.
Wait
It
a
just doesn't
second.
taste good.
Can we get Adam in this? Adam, have you
Adam
ever
doesn't
tried?
care about you. Stop trying to get back up. He doesn't care.
I'm scrambling here.
Look at him. That's a man that drinks Orange Crush. He doesn't care about no healthy soda. He has Mountain
Wow.
Dew and an IV. Are you kidding me? That's a real man right there.
Ladies
You
and
drinking
gentlemen,
Olipop? Are you drinking Polypop, Adam? Are you?
No,
No,
I've never even
exactly.
heard of Olipop.
Do you drink soda? Do you drink like Dr. Pepper straight? What do you do?
No, I don't. I used to. I mean, many years ago, I used to drink Mountain Dew, but I've actually probably haven't had soda in probably close to 20 years or so.
Oh, good Lord. Well,
Wow.
then there's you.
I
I thought you were like the opposite of that.
No.
Like you had onions, Funyuns, and the Mountain Dew Red.
No, that was
love the
me.
fact-
That was
Can
me
I
in
just
like
say, I love the
2000.
fact that Dustin was trying to engage Adam as if he's, eating pork rinds and he's actually healthier than both of us.
No, look at him. Come on. He's got that. He's got that Jan 6 look. Like he could have
Easily.
he could have put on some horns and stormed in. I'm just saying. All right. So you don't do
Wow.
McDonald's, whatever. I don't care. I guess
I
I'm
miss-
the unhealthiest one, but
Well,
Yeah,
I did try the whole 30 though. I did try it.
how long did you last?
2 weeks. It's brutal.
Wow.
Well, I've done it before, and I'm doing it, and now I have to do it again. I don't know why, but it's a
Why
pretty
is
good.
why is it so brutal?
Well, you don't eat anything. It's
Yeah.
you basically it's lean meats. It's vegetables, which I hear those are good for you, and seafood. Yeah, and that's it. That's your no cheese, no dairy. Dairy's the hard one because keto is the one I like. Like keto, I'm a big keto guy. Like because I'm a cheesy guy. I like cheese and meat together, and so I can pull that off.
Right.
But here's the deal. Here's the kicker. Here's how I can do this. Potatoes. Now, because it's that South Beach, you can't do potatoes. I don't know if you know about South Beaches. It's cocaine and AIDS, but you can't do potatoes.
Okay.
You can't do.
Wow.
I'm a big fan of potatoes. I'm a big fan of mashed potatoes, home fries. I can make my own French fries that are healthy.
But this doesn't look like there's nothing. Look at this. The only thing that you can't eat, you're saying you can't eat nothing. And look at this, grains. Okay, so you can't eat rice, right? You can't eat like legumes, which I never know what that is. I know beans.
Beans.
Yeah.
Peanut butter.
Okay.
Peanut butter is a
That's
big part of my life. I
Oh
don't know
yeah,
about you.
peanut butter. Yeah, peanut butter's a problem if I had to not eat. But
Peanut
you can
butter's
eat
tough.
almond butter. Almond butter.
Almond Brother is as gross as that soda you're drinking. Almond Brother sucks.
Wow.
But you know what's
Wow.
a good alternative? Hey, I got strong opinions. It's all right. So do you. I like cashew butter. I think that is the only nut with flavor.
All right. I smell a callback from your cashew phone thing.
Hello.
Hello, there's your new closer. We just got you a new closer. Hello. It's like, hello, I'm hanging up on you.
But this
Look,
is my
the two
life.
fingers. I'm doing the two fingers.
That's what this episode is sponsored by. Raw cashews.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah.
So we're
Look at
good with
the beans and the beans. I love beans. I'm a big bean guy. I love just bean burritos, beans. I'll eat beans in a bowl with just cheese, onions, and some taco sauce. Like I just get after.
So the problem with the whole 30 diet is beans for you. Like obviously,
no, it's beans, dairy, and peanut butter stuff. Yeah, so it's peanut butter, peanuts. I like peanut butter. I don't like peanuts, but I like peanut butter. And the alcohol, I gave that up years ago. I love how
isn't there some controversy about whether peanuts are nuts or something? What is that about, Adam?
Well, it's a legume. It's a legume.
I know, but this says legumes and then peanuts. Why does it have to repeat that? Is a peanut a bean or is it a nut?
People aren't smart and not going to know what that means.
Well, that's why they come. Why do you think this show is indispensable for people? And they're, you know what I mean?
No, people are going to be legume. Oh yeah, peanut butter. Like they don't put it together, but that's all that means.
I think you're not giving people enough credit. Okay,
I guess you can't eat things. You can't eat things that grow in a shell, like a thing, like a little thing, right? Like a.
Is that what that is?
I don't know. Like a. Talk to me.
I didn't know cashews grow in a shell. Does cashews?
No, I don't. I don't know how any of this works. Adam, you got to help us out today.
I'm looking this up right now.
I have no brain energy because I'm just living on cashews. Water.
No, it's whatever you're doing.
Gross.
Whatever you're doing is definitely it's imbuing you with a spark. Oh, yeah. There because you've got opinions on all of these things, very sharp ones at that, right? The hell with that. The whole fruit, the whole darn stuff, it sucks.
Well,
I can't take it.
What's a sulfites? What is that?
Adam.
Sulfites.
I don't know.
Yeah, what's a sulfite?
I don't know, but I don't get it.
I mean, MSG, that's Chinese food. I don't know what that carrageenan is.
Why don't you pick up the cashew phone and ask someone, right?
Hello, what's a sulfite? Should I be?
Hello, is that a sulfite?
What's a sulfite?
Carrageenan.
What is that?
Didn't she just win a Best Supporting Actress? Carrageenan. A carrageenan? I have no idea what that means. What it is.
It's taking a really long time, Adam. You can't find a sulfite?
We need to talk while Adam does these things. We can't have silence while Adam is doing his research. We have to actually.
Well, I was ready to jump in on it, and then it's like
I know, but I
got to get him better internet.
No.
I know it's.
What is a sulfite? Oh, he's in a hotel room.
So sulfites are chemical compounds that are found in some foods. Are also added to many foods as preservative. It just says it's found in peanuts, black tea, eggs, soft drinks.
But okay, you can eat, but you can't have dairy. But you can get like coconut milk, can't you? Or not? Maybe not no nut or like one of those other
I'm a big
milks.
fan of nut milk. I'm a big fan of nut milk.
Okay, but wait a minute. If you can't eat peanuts and you can't eat legumes and you can't eat grains, what is coconut? Does that qualify as a nut? Like is that not on the bean?
Coconut's fine.
How do you know?
Because it's fruits. It's a fruit.
Okay. All right.
Easy.
I'm just checking. I'm just checking it.
How do you know?
How the hell do you know? What do you? We can't give out We're giving out misinformation on this show. People are going on at 12:30. They're going to eat coconuts like on Gilligan's Island.
I'm going to eat the phone.
Yeah, they just call. Yeah, there's a call for you. Anyway,
and then, what is a carrageenan? What is that?
Okay, now let's talk while Adam does his research to see how the show works.
Tell the audience.
Adam goes to work. Adam goes to work, and then the rest of it, you and I are supposed to vamp.
What's behind that door?
We got a game show. Okay, that's
that door behind you.
Okay, that's
so much going on back there.
That's Epstein's underground layer right there.
I'm waiting for Kramer to come through that door.
All right, exactly. You see that door? That's where the funny. That's where I keep the funny because it's not here. Hello.
It's obviously locked. Yeah, go ahead. What happened?
Thank you.
Do we know? Right. Do we know carrageenan?
Yep. So carrageenan is extracted from red seaweed. It's used as a thickening, gelling, and stabilizing agent in various food and non-food products.
Okay, so you have to do all this freaking research to
You got to read the labels. That's a big deal. I mean, it's basically no processed food. So if it's not grown alive or whatever, then you should be eating it. That's the whole thing. If it's somebody made it, it's in a box, then you probably shouldn't eat it.
Yeah. All right. Whatever.
That's pretty much everything.
All right. So you can't eat nothing, is what you're saying, except meats, eggs. Although it says no dairy, but you can eat eggs. You can eat meat. You can eat fish. You can eat lots of vegetables. You can eat lots of fruit, but you can't eat nothing.
You could. You just die.
It's like these all these people nowadays that say, comedians, we can't say nothing nowadays. You can't say anything. Yeah, except these 4 words. That's anything. You know what I mean? I love that. We can't say anything nowadays except these 4. Yeah. What do you mean you can't say it? There's lots of comedians saying things. There are a lot of things being said.
There's a lot of things. And let me go back to Adam. So here's the deal. So Adam, you still drink, right? You have a beer and stuff?
Yeah.
See, that's why you can be healthy, because that's where you put your fun, and that's where you put your kind of your bad or whatever.
Yeah.
See, I don't have anywhere to put it but a box of donuts, or like the bag of Doritos. That's where the fun is, or the bad is, because I don't do the drinking bad. And so I know, Brian, you don't do either, but still.
Yeah. The only thing I get to do is I eat a big bag of carrageenan every day. Right. That's what I do. One big bowl I make myself a bowl of carrageenan. I throw some sulfites in, and then I'm done.
I did candy cigarettes. How about that?
Love it. Love candy cigarettes. Love candy cigarettes.
Pictures of Leah and I when we were young and beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
She's still beautiful.
That looks like a kidnapping. Anyway.
Doesn't it? I did kidnap her. She had no choice. She had no choice in the matter.
No, but show that picture again, because that looks like that's one of those things you see on social media where you go, she's under the control of some guy. You know what I mean? Look at that picture. Like where her friends have expressed concern about her new relationship, right? Yeah.
All right. Well, for those of you listening, it's me basically dressed as Kid Rock, and then Leah in an innocent face of like, what is happening? Well, she likes the bad boys. We were talking about that.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
When she was a kid, she liked the bad guy from Robin Hood, the Kevin Costner movie, the guy with the deep voice. Yeah.
Who was that? Adam, look that up. What is that?
The guy with the really deep voice.
It wasn't Friar Tuck, was it? Alan Rickman? Was it Alan Rickman?
No, not Alan Rickman. The other guy with the really long hair.
Okay. I don't know. Look, I don't know who the cast was, or who is his nemesis.
Robin
who is it?
Who's Robin Hood's
nemesis?
Rickman. It was another dude, or am I thinking of? I'm thinking of the Crow. What am I thinking of? The guy with the really long hair.
Who gets the Crow mixed up with Robin Hood? Right?
Oh, get out of here! I know every Robin Hood movie that's ever existed.
I believe you, but I'm saying the Crow.
Earl Flynn was a great Robin Hood.
He wasn't in the Crow.
Maybe his spirit was.
Okay.
This is called the Cranky I'm Hungry show.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Somebody feed this guy. Give him some sulfites.
No, I'm going to get my. Well, see, here's the deal too. We're going to Mexico for a wedding, a destination wedding. Which don't even get me started on that.
Speaking of beans,
and so we want to shred up for the beach or whatever. So this is kind of the goal of it.
Yeah.
But when we get there, we're going to go buck wild on the Mexican. You got anything, Adam? Good for me is exactly right.
This is how the humor gets made right here, folks. This is how the humor gets inspired.
Nose in the mic. Yeah, I don't. I'm excited to go to Mexico, but I'm not excited when people have destination weddings. I know a lot of people talk about this, but I just feel like it's like, destination weddings. Like it's a thing. I know people have covered it before, but I feel like I thought that would have kind of phased out, but would have phased out by now. People are still doing it. People are still basically like, "Hey, I'm getting married. I'm not going to make it easy for you, and you're gonna have to go to resort."
If they're going to pay for it, that would be one thing. But let's go
for it.
Everybody's going to have to get travel plans to Sri Lanka. Because I want to. Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to room with a capuchin monkey just to see you guys get together for 5 years.
Yeah,
right?
It's a lot.
All right, how about a destination divorce? Okay, like 70. Yeah, I'll do that.
That would be fun. You just show up. We watch them get in a fight, and then it's over. and then
it's all over.
enjoy our vacation.
That's right. That's right. Destination weddings, destination breakups. Okay,
destination breakups.
That's our new show. We're gonna destination wedding, a reality show where we invite people to watch the disintegration of a relationship. Okay, yeah. What do you think?
I like it. I'm into it. Let's produce it, Adam. You got a new project. You have something you're bringing up, Adam? I feel you have that look in your eye.
Right.
There we go. That's Alan Rickman in it.
Who am I thinking of with the long hair? Not him. That's a great look.
That's Alan Rickman, by the way.
I know who that is.
He's got long hair.
Nah, it's not the same guy. His first movie was Die Hard. That was his very first movie.
Yeah, I know. Alan Rickman, sure. Yeah.
You didn't know that.
Of course I knew that. The late great Alan Rickman. He was a theater actor. And
all right,
what's his name? John McTiernan, who directed Die Hard, brought him in on that movie. Didn't even know that he did an American accent. Tell me more about what I don't know. Right. And he did an American accent. Which
all right, you read the Robin Hood book. I get it. The making of the movie and the Die Hard book. I get it.
Okay.
ChatGPT. I saw you Googled all of that. I
didn't Google a word of that. It's the one thing I'm good at is mindless, useless, like 1980s, 90s trivia.
All right. Well, how about this? Christian Slater. Yeah. What was his first movie then?
Who?
Christian Slater.
Oh, that's difficult because Christian Slater's mom was a casting director. Hold on.
It's not difficult.
No. Hold on.
If you're me, it's not. For you,
it's not. It might not be difficult for you, but like Christian Slater, because Christian Slater was such a kid actor because his mom was a casting director, so he started getting work. So you got like movies like it's definitely not his first movie, but it's like what's that? Pump Up the Volume. Gleaming the Cube, Pump Up the Volume.
Gleaming the Cube was the first one, I think.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Maybe he had a small role in something, but
and Pump Up the Volume was the second movie.
Pump Up the Volume.
The third film was Heathers, and his fourth film. I mean, don't even. I'll keep going all day.
Okay. I used to do. Oh, that's funny. I used to do Christian Slater and Jack Nicholson meeting on the street.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that was one of my bits.
You know what one you missed?
Wait,
The Legend of Billie Jean.
Yes, there you go. Dustin getting cocky. Mm-hmm.
Hey, they got 3 out of 4. What'd you do? Nothing. You were all Rickman and no Slater.
Yeah, all Rickman, no Slater. That's hilarious. That's the name.
You were.
Well, that's the name of my punk band. All Rickman, no Slater. Okay,
I like it.
But like here's my. I used to do Jack Nicholson. And this was a tribute to my dad because my dad did a bit in his act that no one will ever get anymore of Alice Ghostly and Paul Lynde meeting on the street. Okay, now no one's going to get either one of like those. You know both of those people.
Yes, of course I do.
Okay. How are you, Alice? How are you, Alice? Not bad, Paul, and you, because they had the same voice. Okay, so that was the whole joke. So that was a tribute to my dad. My dad, how are you, Alice? Not bad, Paul, and you. And so I did Jack Nicholson and Christian Slater, which I can't even do the voices anymore. But
yes, you can. Come on, you can do this.
No, I mean Jack. Well, Jack, how are you? Not bad, Christian. How the hell are you? Right? Like, yeah, same voice. See. Now, if you really want to get meta, you could do Alice Ghostly meeting Christian Slater on the street. How are you, Christian? Not bad, Alice, and you.
There you go. You got it at the end there.
Genius. Okay, anyway. Whatever. I'm still talking into a tribble on this show. I need to get
You are a genius. That's why you're here. You're full of the voices. The people like the voices. We got to do more of the characters. That's
people
the TikTok
love the
kids. The TikTokers, they love it. We got to have you do more characters.
Yeah. They love the voice.
That's how we get the hits. That's how we're going to get the hits.
Yeah. That's how we get
Putting on the hits.
Yeah. So what do you got? You're working on
I already got it, and you didn't want to go with it.
Where? What?
It was the diet. That's him. Who's this guy?
I have no idea.
That's the guy from The Crow.
The Crow. Okay. All right.
Crow,
I got confused the Crow and Robin.
Okay.
But that guy, you ever seen The Crow?
I don't know who that is.
Have you ever seen The Crow?
I've seen The Crow a long time ago, but I don't remember.
He's the main villain in The Crow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's the guy?
He's got the real deep voice. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He's a good actor. He's got a really crazy deep voice.
Right. Yeah.
No, I guess,
Oh.
I mean, the joke is that, yeah, I mean, I kind of used that last night and it kind of worked in the sense of like, I'd rather my girl, cheat on me than do another diet. Like something like where it's just like you're just, in a relationship, you're locked into these things that you do together, whether it's exercise,
Yeah.
like going to church. I go to church now, I'm doing this now, I'm doing that now. It's just like, it's just a really funny, like,
So you have no actual will of your own. Yeah, I got it.
Well, dumb guys
Mm-hmm.
fight over TV shows and things like that. And dumb guys end up being single. So I always say it's like, I just go with it. I've never argued over anything.
Yes.
I don't think we've never had an argument.
We go to I worship Satan, whatever she wants. I just don't want to cause any problems.
I mean, if it was like Satan and like what is that Tom Cruise thing that like that kind of thing? Yeah, it was like if there was some work involved, I would see what Satan's about. But I'm not just going to go. Well,
the thing about but there's this thing that's about Scientology. I mean, doesn't that pay off? Like there's a show business payoff there. You know what I mean?
Well,
yeah.
Satanism is a big. I mean, what was it? The guy with the glass eye. What was his name? Sammy Davis Jr. He was a big Satanist.
Was a Satanist?
Yes.
Was he really?
Yeah. Pull that up. Let's pull it up. So Brian doesn't think I'm making.
I've never heard this. The guy that sang Candyman worshipped Satan. Okay, who knew?
And he said it 3 times, and it got guy came through his mirror.
Who can take a sunrise?
There you go. Just sing.
Kill it with you. A miracle or two. Beelzebub. Beelzebub.
Anything on Sammy being a Satanist?
Nothing?
Oh, yeah. It said...
the Prince of Darkness.
It says he experimented with Satanism following his 1968 divorce. He became a warlock in the Church of Satan.
What year was this? Wait, hold on.
1968.
Okay,
big year. That's a big year. That's a big year for the Dave.
That was wasn't that the same year as the Manson murders? No wonder. What a perfect year. What a great year. The Manson murders and the White Album, I think. They both came out at the same time.
Satanism was popular. It was the Lululemon of its time. Mm-hmm. But it was very popular.
Lululemon, there was I guess the fashion was, there definitely was a fashion bent to it. Okay.
No, but I love that. The guy. I love it that you didn't know something. You're a pretty smart guy. I love it that I got one on you.
I did not know that. I did not know there was a Satan.
It's a big day for me.
Yeah, that's great. But it didn't last, unfortunately. But who cares? It was a definite.
What do you mean it didn't last? It's
the Satan thing with Sammy.
What did it say? He's a warlock. That's pretty hard. I'm saying well into it.
I know, but who didn't go through a satanic phase? Come on, right? You know what I mean? If you didn't do that, it's a part of growing up. I went through
a Mormon phase, so it's similar.
Exactly.
Well, this is funny. I think I talked about this with you before, but I don't think we did it when we had like a real podcast. It's when the early on days. Yeah. But Adam is in a Marriott, and then show them what they got in the bedstand, which I think is the Book of Mormon, which is so funny to me. Mm-hmm. That because Mormons own the Marriotts, and I love the idea that they just push that on you. You know what I mean? Like I just thought it was funny. It's like you don't go to a 7-Eleven, and you're like, all right, let me get some donuts and some Mountain Dew. Let me finish.
Yeah,
Mountain Dew, and then they put a copy of the Quran in the bag. Like they don't push it on you, but somehow hotels have gotten around this thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that they could just push on their beliefs, and it's pretty crazy. Go ahead.
Yeah, but that's what's funny about that. That's funny. That's really funny. I mean, I don't know if you're doing anything with the Quran thing, but like
I haven't been able to get it to work as well as I want. But that's
because the idea that who has ever left a Red Roof Inn and put on magic underwear? Like they've got, you know what I mean? You went in as a Mormon, like you went in as a Christian, and you hey, what's this book over here? And 3 whatever checkout time is by noon tomorrow. Early, you get a late checkout. Suddenly, you're putting on magic underpants, and
that's funny. And also, it's funny too because I think what ended up happening. I think this is funny. The idea of even the Bible being there is, I think after a while, hotel owners and motel owners throughout the years were like, there's a lot going on in these hotel rooms. I think we need to like balance it out with a Bible. Like the people, there's so much prostitution and drugs.
Yeah.
And like there's something funny about that where they're like, all right, man. Let's put it in there.
That would make sense, Dustin, except have you read the Bible?
That's true. That's true.
Right. That's a handbook of perversion. Okay. I don't know if you've ever, there's more stuff going on in that Bible. That's like a, you know what I mean? They're going to go, what should we do? Let's consult this book over here. There's more suggestions.
Let's kill our firstborn. Yeah. I get it.
That's like a twisted Kama Sutra right there. You know, like right there, the Bible.
I don't think most people read the Bible like you do, but I think we'll just throw New Testament in there. How about that?
Yeah.
But anyway, this thing is like, but I never got in my car and opened up, my glove box and there was a copy of the Dianetics in there. You know what I mean? Like, but somehow hotels, the only ones that can do it. It's like, there's something funny. I don't know if there's any other like family owned thing that, they push their religion on you like that.
What's the like if you convert to I wonder what the conversion rate in the hotels is from those books,
more than you think. I bet. I think it's like
really
more than well, hear me out.
Okay.
I'm one who has been converted and has fallen for the cult of cults and things like that. So I think a lot of it is this is what they're preying on. Not the party people, not the couples, not the married people, not the families. What they're preying on is the dude that can barely muster up enough money for a I guess, well, Marriott's are pretty nice, but still, I think it's the single guy that's like got nothing. And he's just like, maybe he's about to commit suicide in the hotel.
Good hotels, like you said.
That's true. I mean, Marriott's average at best, but it's nice. It's nice.
Right.
I guess it's the only one, right? The Marriott's, I guess they don't have like a lower chain because it would make sense at a Motel 6. Like a Bible makes sense there because you got nothing left. You got nothing left.
Right. Okay.
You got no. Wow. I mean, you barely got a clean towel. So a Bible makes sense in a Motel 6.
That would be really funny if they just, to really check, because anything of marketing where you do anything, you always want to check to see what is this a successful strategy, putting them in hotels? What's our success rate? How's our marketing strategy working?
Did you read the chat? Estimated that 1/4 of hotel guests will read the Bible in their room and that each Bible could reach up to 2,300 people over its 6-year lifespan.
That's amazing. Okay.
That's good. Those are pretty good numbers.
It doesn't have a conversion stat, but okay.
Here's here's a company that uses their beliefs to kind of make a statement, and Chick-fil-A not being open on Sundays is a thing that, like, because it makes you think about Chick-fil-A on Sundays because you're like, oh, I'd like to, oh yeah, and then you think, oh, it's religious, oh yeah, and you go down that thing. So I think they're one of the. I mean, they don't put Bible. They would if they could get away with it. They would definitely put little mini Bibles with the Chick-fil-A sauce. Yeah, but
I really don't think. I really think God is. I don't really think God really is that concerned about these rather weird obsessions that we tend to put on him or her. Or whatever. I mean, do you really think that God is, you know what I mean? Like going, wait a minute, there's 6 days and then the other one, no. And then
yes and no. Because
no wonder Satan is so appealing.
Well, yes and no. Here's the deal. I mean, I've always said this is going to be a weird, bold statement, but I feel the Jews kind of have it figured out. And I love the structure of the Jewish religion. I think a lot of religions have taken kind of from that, like so like Mormonism, which is kind of a modern religion compared to the others. They've taken certain aspects and things like that of like Sabbath type days and fasting and whatever from different places. But I do like the idea sometimes of shutting down and and not having electronics or whatever all the stuff is of what Sabbath is for people or whatever. But I do like the idea of shutting down And I think especially in this time of like where we're at in life, where everything is 24 hours, everything is looking at our phone, there's something kind of great where you're like, hey, this day I'll take off. Like with the Mormons, they had a day, it was called, every Monday, it was called Family Home Evening. And that was a day. That was a day, because you're, and so, like that's a pretty good idea. I don't, where you're just like, you spend time talking to the kids, how you doing in school, let's play a game.
But you could do that. You could do that without involving God.
But I think a lot of people aren't thinking about that. And religion is meant to make you sometimes think about stuff you may not think about, far as like loving, interactions and family stuff. That's all. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's necessary 100%. But somebody like me there was no family stuff really. So I felt like that's why I was attracted to it, because I was like, oh, this is great. And so I think that's how they get people too, where the families end up having this, one day that they connect or whatever. So whatever. I just think I get the Sabbath. I get what that is. But,
okay. I have no problem with that.
Well, that's what the Chick-fil-A is. They're shutting down one day, which is technically their Sabbath, their church day or whatever they want to. Right. However they want to.
There's a certain because they're a religious organization, so there's controversy around them. But I have to say their lemonade is really good. Whatever you want to say about them, you know what I mean? No. I don't know if bigots make good lemonade. I'm not sure how it works, but like if you have to be bigoted to make good lemonade, whatever it is they're doing, it's better than Olipop. I'll tell you that much.
Well, how much can you handle? I think this could be a thing too. Like, it really depends on the person, because there's some people that can like, especially now with everything that's happening in the world and whatnot. It's, and even with like artists and certain certain people, I'm turned off from their offstage things that they've done. There's people that, like with Chick-fil-A, for example, it's like, I hate it that their views towards people's lifestyle. I think that's kind of, I think it's ridiculous that that's so vocal, but the chicken's so good that sometimes you're like, all right, I'll go to Pride maybe I'll go to Pride and I'll march. I'll make up for the 4 chicken sandwiches I bought.
The art versus the artist. It's like,
I don't know if Chick-fil-A is an artist, but it's, it's.
Have you had that chicken sandwich? They are. Okay. that is Renoir right there.
2 pickles
of the chicken.
But I'm just saying,
so good.
It's not bad. I mean, it's bad for you. I'll tell you that. There's so many chemicals in that thing. But
so it's on a note like that, since you're talking about controversy and not controversy, but like, like separating things. It's like, what about, how do you feel about, punching down, right? In comedy. I was talking to somebody about this recently, and there's this concept of punching down, okay, which I've never really ascribed to, except in the cognizant that humor and funny is funny and something else isn't. But I don't know the rules. I don't know the rules, because I've heard
you've punched down a little bit, and so have I, and so have most comics. As far as the material, and it's like just doing a bit about a guy with no arms. Some people might see that as punching down, but I see it as a bigger spectrum and a bigger bit about the hypocrisy of people getting offended or whatever. So I get what it is. But,
no, I obviously I understand I understand in theory the idea, but the idea behind punching down, I always thought that if the people who say you shouldn't punch down should stop looking down at people. I mean, because basically what you're doing is you're basically saying that those people are down, and you're seeing it through this lens of like, and who's down and who's up, because I never understood like children, you can talk about murdering children, you can talk about drowning kids, you can talk about beating children, and that's not considered punching down. But children are the most powerless group, but they never get folded into the punching down category.
I don't know about all that. I think talking about killing kids is probably going to put a halt to your set.
Oh, come on. How many jokes have you had, that where they, so I put the kid in the trunk, and, it's always that wry thing,
I gotcha.
Attell's got a great joke where he goes, the look in a child's eye when you put him in the trunk, right?
Yeah.
I
No,
love
I
the
see
look
what
in
you're
the
saying.
trial.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
obviously that tongue in cheek or whatever. Yeah, I get all
Yes,
that, but
yes,
it's
yeah.
Jeselnik is good at it. Like there's people that
Yes.
do that, but yeah, I don't know. I think
I mean, Hicks had that joke where he goes, they're so small. Little kids are so small when they're that little. They're so cute when they're that little. And then and on the plane, the kid's crying, and so he opens up the window, and the kid flies out, or something. And the joke is like, oh my god, look, you know what? You're right. He really is cute because the smaller he gets, the cuter he is. Like he's flying away from the plane.
Yeah,
and that's a joke. It's obviously a joke.
Yeah,
okay?
I get it. Well, everything's a joke. It's just everything should just be a joke. I don't think I think you could. This weekend I worked with some of my buddies, and we one of them was a little person that I used to be roommates with, and and every time he brought me up, and then every time he brought me up, I did a joke about him making cookies in the tree and whatever, and it was just like I couldn't stop myself, and it was just like because we just did this thing, and then the last show I didn't do it, I felt kind of bad, but for the most part I didn't, and it was like people would laugh or whatever, and one time I think Rich Voss taught me that, let's say there's an audience member that might be like, handicapped or something. And I remember him getting heckled by a lady in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And then he basically has the best line ever. And he's just like, I just, want to find a steep hill. And, basically was just like, find a hill and push you down the hill or something. But it was just like, and they were having a back and forth, they were bantering and stuff. And it was just like, it made that person feel probably normal because he was going after them and stuff.
Yes.
So I don't think there's, we're on the same page. Nobody's arguing this. But it's
I know. But go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I remember one time I did, I was somewhere where it was really white. It was like, I don't know, Indiana or something. And there was a Muslim family up front. And I did Muslim jokes and I made fun. I did bomb references. I did all the stuff. And then and some of the audiences were cool with it. And some of the audiences were kind of weird with it. But it worked for the most part. But then after, they wrote me these letters of like, thank you so much for including us and making fun of us, made us feel, but most people don't think that way. They just get,
but that's my point. That's the people that are outside the comedy industry and those inside it who have these parameters. They make no sense to me. Like what you're talking about is energy. It has nothing to do with the joke. It has nothing to do with anything other than coming from a loving place. And you can read that and you can feel that and that matters. And so we're not doing any jokes here, but we're talking about a serious topic, which is like what you're talking about is comedy can be inclusive in the way it's approached that way. But if you go, well, you shouldn't make jokes about this group. It's like, well, it depends on the joke, depends on the energy. Yeah. None of those rules make any sense to me. Like because they don't matter because you're going to just say that this is offensive. Somebody might say that handicap joke is offensive. And it's like, and the people that you're making the joke to are laughing hysterically. So who are you to say that? And that, I just think the whole thing that drives me nuts is the whole thing. And we talked about this on the show where edgy versus, where hack became edgy. They turned hack into edgy. That drives me crazy. Like the hack used to be the worst thing you could be. Okay. Is comedians if you're a hack, we have no respect for you. They were the shunned outcasts of the comedy community. And then somebody decided, how do we rebrand hack and make it, we'll call it boundary pushing and edgy. And I'm not saying everybody fits into that category, but I've seen stuff where they go, oh, that's edgy. And it's like, no, it's not. It's hack. It used to be called hack, right?
Well, no, I mean, this, even the thing that's happening in Austin with the Kill Tony and all that stuff and all those Rogan guys. I mean, me, Lampanelli, and DePaulo were doing that in 2004. And so, I was doing slave jokes. I did slave jokes on Showtime, in 2005.
Yes, we talked about this.
Yeah. So it's like, you're not impressing anybody with this.
But that joke you told, That joke you told
edginess.
me is really good. Like, there's jokes that are good. There's jokes that are creative. Jeselnik has some real dark stuff, very funny, and legitimately clever. It's not hack. And then there's stuff that's just based on either stereotype, cheap jokes, cheap laughs, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's just basically hack. You're just doing hack material. And you're going, oh, no, it's edgy. It's like, no, it isn't. It's not creative. It's not very good. And then all the other free speech lunatics get involved and go, no, you can't say nothing. It's like, no, you don't be a hack. Like, but then who decides? I know.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, yeah. I think comedy it's the best it's been, and it's the worst it's been.
Mhm.
And I think that's, it's just a very, safe answer, but it's what's
Isn't
happening.
that- is that Tolstoy or Dickens that said that? I can't remember which one.
I think it was Jeff Dunham.
Yeah.
But
You're comparing Jeff Dunham. Is it Tolstoy? Is it, yeah.
I mean, he has characters. He has like 12 characters. So it's very Jeff Dunham. I have a Jeff Dunham story. One of his, our driver, a tour that I work with, and the bus driver of the tour bus was saying that he also used to drive for Jeff Dunham. And he said they would have like 3 buses. And one of the buses would just be all his puppets, and and he would set them up like in the seats and stuff, and so they would all just kind of be sitting there, like with a look like they're about to drink a Coke, like like with the with the sleep things on their eyes, like just all set up in the thing. And he's by himself on this bus, and then he's just like looking in the mirror, and like all these puppets are just sitting there, look like they're playing Uno. He's got them all like situated around. Like, I just thought that was so funny.
Wow, that's
funny.
That's a visual that keep me up at night.
Yeah,
right.
I thought that was funny. But I think it's hilarious. To be honest with you, it's like you just freak out the bus driver. If you're going to be a puppet guy, you might as well be a little funny.
You might as well. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's comedy it's always going to be weird. But back to the thing you were talking about, where as far as the audience goes, I think the audience should know that like if you don't like guitar solos, then don't go to a rock show. If you don't like any sort of edginess or whatever, don't go to a comedy club, because there's probably going to be something there that you like. It's like, but the beauty of it is there's so many options to comedy. I mean, I work on a completely clean tour. We don't do politics. We don't curse. We don't do anything sexual. And it's 18,000 people, and they freaking love it. And so there's an audience for everybody. You just need to be smart enough as an audience member to know that if you're looking for vegan, don't go to Burger King. And so it's,
obviously
it's up to the audience. They should be smarter.
We're talking about a specific aspect of or attitude, very, very popular nowadays, which is an evaluation of comedy. See, I always feel I don't know where it went wrong. It's like culture has been we liberals and Democrats have been fighting over the culture while the conservatives are winning at the ballot box all the time. Like why while we're arguing about jokes, they're winning the Senate. Because we're arguing about stuff that absolutely we want to win there because we're not winning there. It's like this emphasis on this other thing is really not serving to further the cause of what you want by clamping down or saying this, that, and the other thing shouldn't be said, or this is that. And look, and like I said, I hate hack. So if it's hack, I always go, but that's not funny. You don't have to say it's racist. You lost me at not funny. People have to go, that's racist.
I get it, but
that isn't funny. It's bad enough. That's worse. Calling a comic not funny, calling him hack. Stop calling comics racist. Go back to calling them hacks. You'll it has much more resonance and shaming capacity.
I think so. Yeah. No, but everything's hack. Every television show is hack. Most music is hack. Everything is hack. It all just comes around, and they all do the same kind of thing. And it's no different. There's always a new All in the Family. There's always a new Good Times. There's always
different, but that's different from being. I wouldn't say something is hack. When I say that's then we have to go down the rabbit hole of defining what hack is, and what hack is to me is just mediocre. Not even it's like a mediocre, cheap, easy, and trying to. It's a Trojan horse. It's trying.
But what if you did it before it was hack, and you still do it?
That's different. Once again,
Okay.
if you're some kind of pathfinder, well, like what's an example of that?
Like Steve Marshall.
Well, you mean did it? Wait, you mean doing? Wait, doing it before? Wait, you mean like I don't know, like
I mean, I feel like when he did it, it was probably kind of groundbreaking, and then now
Okay,
it's
well,
like, you know.
okay, but I don't know how many. You know, I'm not going to comment on that particular thing, but I'm saying that if you did it something
Lisa
before,
Lampanelli, when she was popular, a lot of
Yeah,
us were calling her
is-
hacky.
uh,
A lot of us
okay.
were. She was doing a lot of rhyme jokes, a lot of jokes, you know, a lot of stereotypical black guy jokes, and it was very, you know, a lot of us were saying that.
in that
And
context,
she was huge.
Yeah, but
She
that
was
was roast context is a different context once again.
She was huge before she even got the roast. Like she was selling out everywhere. Like she was that the roast made her bigger, like they did Amy Schumer and everybody else. But it was just she was doing stuff that had already been done. It was all hacky. Everything she did had been said before.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard one joke that Lisa Lampanelli did it, and she made millions.
Okay, well, I thought
out crazy places.
I was under the impression that Lisa's career was made on those roasts, which is a specific kind of context in which the parameters are a little bit.
Yeah, she got bigger from it. Sure, yeah. But she was. I mean, I wasn't before that. Yeah, she was still selling out before that's how she got the roast.
Well, what got her selling out? Was it just, you know, are you saying it was social media or just
building
a brand
social media
like Dane Cook,
kind of, but it was more like she was, you know, her story is really interesting because she went to Harvard, you know, in business or something. And she was older when she started comedy and, you know, she's wearing little sweaters and, you know, it was like this funny, you know, person that does not look like they should be saying these things was saying these things. So she had a hook and then she was, it was just, Patrice hated her. Like so many comics hated her. So it was just like, but she was able, it was timing. And, you know, I remember she offered to buy jokes from me, $1,000 a joke or whatever. Like she approached me because I was doing edgy stuff or whatever, race stuff, whatever. And so, you know, it's just, she was like in the forefront of that. It was like DePaulo and her, that was like, you know, she was doing better than DePaulo because it was sillier, you know, whereas somebody like DePaulo, I think is great. Also not everybody is on board with him as a person where she was silly. And so she got away with it and more. And then she also had a gay audience and so she was making fun of gay people, but then they embraced her.
As far as I know, like you're saying that Lisa, what would you consider Lisa funny? Just basically, okay, good. Because that's the parameter, funny. Yeah. Like now you can go, well, I think that guy's funny or that guy's funny or whatever. And I guess there's a subjective aspect to it, but I still think I never.
But not funny from a core. Not funny from a core. Not funny not funny from a place. Obviously, she's gone for a reason. So, there's not a core.
That's that's a really interesting arc to analyze what that means. That arc that she had, and she's gone now. And I'm not as obviously familiar with her stuff as you are. I wasn't like a roast.
She was dating one of my best friends, so I was around her a lot. I was around her when she met Rickles. I was around her when they had discussions about it. He told her to keep it clean. What he said.
Because
he
I
goes,
watch
you
Rickles.
Do what I do. He goes, you do what I do. And Rickles said that to her. And he goes,
right, okay, but see, like Rickles is like not hack at all. And I watch Rickles in retrospect. And what makes me always laugh about Rickles is the bizarre non sequiturs made Rickles funny. Like Rickles would say the weirdest things that made no sense, and those were the funniest things. Like just those things. They go, oh, look at Letterman over here stepping on a cricket over here. Like he's in 1 minute. You should be in Indiana right now, David. 2 hours ago you're sitting on a lawn chair, stepping on a cricket, going, look, I'm out of work. You know, and I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? I don't even know, but it was always so funny. He had impeccable comic timing, and I never even,
no. But it did get dated, and it did fall a little bit. I saw him live in his later years, and it didn't hold up. but Rickles was hilarious, and so you wanted to see him.
Yeah.
But when you're calling a black guy hockey puck, it's dated. It doesn't, it's it's kind of like we don't do that anymore.
Okay, right. Okay.
We're not calling black guys hockey pucks anymore.
Okay, right.
But you're a legend, so we're gonna let you finish this.
But was he still calling people hockey pucks at that concert? You saw him?
Yes.
Okay. Was he?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I'll take your
In
word
Jersey.
for it. Right?
I'm not lying. In Jersey, like 2007.
But he was 90 back then. You know what I mean? Maybe he lost a step. I don't know.
He did a lot of stuff he should have been doing. That's Rickles.
Yeah.
And so his thing, but let me finish with the Rickles thing. Yeah. So Rickles would go after, call people hockey pucks, make fun of the Jews, which he was Jewish. He would make fun of everybody, the Mexican not working, whatever, all the lazy jokes about whatever. He would do all those. And then he would find a way. He was the best to do it. They all try to do it, where they try to make it about love and they try to make it about, everybody in the center. He did such a good job with that it really, he was like the first one to kind of pull everything together. And like Hello Dummy, one of my favorite albums. Right. It's a perfect album where he's just going after people. And then he basically brings it full circle about himself and everything. And it's good. And it's great. I started to do that kind of comedy. That's what I thought I wanted to do. And I went, he was my hero and all that. But,
by the way, can I just say for the record and get this on the transcript that until you just said the word hockey puck in relation, I had absolutely no idea there was a racial component to that. I heard him call everybody that. I thought that was just dumb guy, like Brick. Like I didn't know there was a racial. I didn't even really understand. Like until you just said that, I heard him say, "Look at this hockey puck over here." Now, and he used to say it to everybody. I didn't know that there was any racial connection there. Okay, like I'm going. Wait a minute, racial? That's a racial slur? I have no idea until just
they're black.
Yeah. I go. I thought it was like calling someone, just a brick or just your paperweight. Calling someone, this guy's got a brain of a paperweight over here. This guy's the intellectual capacity of a paperweight.
Yeah.
Look at his hockey puck over here.
But I will say this, and I'll always say this. I feel like certain people can get away with saying things, about people. Yes. And I feel Jews have that. I feel, Latinos and black guys and whatever. I feel like they can say a little more because, depression or whatever.
No, okay, go ahead.
I'm always okay with that.
Okay, okay. Are you saying? Okay, see, I don't agree with this perspective because I think it's the energy that the person brings, and you can be white, and you can be black, or you can be Latino, and you can be offensive all across the board. I
didn't say the white guys couldn't do it. I'm just saying I'm very open to.
I'm saying that the energy behind Rickles, the energy behind Pryor, the energy behind a good comic, like a really good comic, is always some organic base of love. And Billy Burr embodies that because you sort of go, wow, I should be offended, but I'm not. And I don't know why.
Well, But I've seen every season. I've seen every season of Def Jam. And there's some great and not so great, but it's still fun. It's still like there's still guys that deserve to be on stage and telling the jokes, and there's a lot of jokes very similar to each other, and a lot of guys doing the same stuff. So the word hack could easily be applied to some of those early shows of that kind of comedy, but. There's also some greatness to it, and some people that broke out and did amazing things.
There's obviously there's great stuff on there, but I still can go watch. Kick it. What's his name?
I ain't afraid of you. Yeah.
Oh my God, such a great set.
Well,
I could watch that. I could watch that 20 times, and that is so great.
That's the greatest moment in comedy.
I'm hung
one
low.
Of the greatest.
I'm blessed. Good. I'm hung low. Wait, what's it?
Fill the whole room.
Yeah.
He's got those pants on with the airbrush.
What's his name? Great. We
Bernie
can't
Mac.
go off. Bernie Mac, the great Bernie Mac. So funny.
Yeah.
So funny. Right. And you put those jokes in the hands of an unskilled or energetically not comedian. Yes, they're still funny, but that Bernie Mac just so funny. They're just people who are just gifted funny, and that guy was one of them.
You're this guy. You're a Bernie Mac in the world of like bad comedy club shows. No, but hear me out. Let me speak. I'm saying good things about you. And so it's like a lot of times there's certain guys that could go into a dead room and the crowd sucks, the comedy sucks, everybody's hating it, and then there's certain guys that can pull it up, can bring it home, and make it work. And you're a guy like that. Well, I've seen you do it, where it's like the worst crowds ever, and you're just getting in there, and you've had like bad MCs and like people that don't know what they're doing, and you've had to dig out of this hole. And that's what that show was for Bernie Mac, because apparently it was a taping and everybody was eating it. And so he just got in, and it was that thing that you get that. Right. I've gotten that. I could do that sometimes when I'm in the mood, but you kind of have it more on automatic. But it's like, it's definitely, a certain, not everybody has that. It's like a thing that you got to dig in there. And the Warriors have it. And so it's the comedy warrior, Brian Scott McFadden.
Thank you, Dustin.
You got a crappy show. Big old Brian Scott. He'll get in there. He'll get in there.
We started out on the Whole30 diet, and we took such a journey, but we brought it back to love. We brought it back to love.
It's always love with me. I don't know. I'm not a roasty guy. I
know, but you were curmudgeonly at the beginning of this, talking about Ollie. You judged Olipop.
For bits. For bits.
No, Olipop.
Who likes a lollipop? Nobody wants a lollipop. All right, Olipop.
We can get a sponsor. We need a sponsor on this show. Olipop.
That guy's a good actor. What's his name? Olifant. No.
Wait, who? I don't know. Who's that? I don't even know.
Nobody knows I'm talking about that. Olifant, that actor. Yeah. He was in.
Oh, Tim Oliphant.
Tim Oliphant.
Oh, wow! Another fellow cowboy hat wearer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. We're getting that. Adam's from Jersey. He's not wearing a cowboy hat. If he is, it's to a Bon Jovi concert.
That would be
That's
funny.
Our show.
Hey, how about Tim Oliphant for Olipop? Right? How about that?
And we'll go to the zoo and look at the Olifants. All right, everybody. This has been a fun one.
Well, folks, that's our show. It's time for us to go. Make sure to follow us, give us a like, drop us a comment, and always subscribe. We're chasing comedy on all the socials. We hope you had a gas, had some laughs, and maybe you learned something too. Until next time, we're Brian and Dustin, and we're chasing comedy.